All right, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of the InnoSyn 27G1S. Not the worst name I've ever heard for a monitor, but it could be something a little bit more intuitive. But besides the point, let's go ahead and get right into the review because this monitor for $299 is honestly a pretty good option, especially if you're not trying to pay $1 million for a very competitive gaming monitor. And when I say competitive, I mean seriously in the performance of the gaming monitor. It's a 1440p VA panel. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I know I probably lost you. You're about to click off. Relax. It's actually a pretty good VA panel. We'll talk about the color in just a second, but it is running at 240 hertz. $299. 240 hertz VA panel, and the motion blur performance is actually very good. You guys can see it for yourself right now. All of the modes, I'm not even sure if they actually change the amount of voltage that they're sending to the pixels themselves to give you faster or better motion clarity, but basically even without a strobing mode on this monitor, it does a really good job at giving you clear visuals while things are moving around on the screen at high speeds. And you guys can really see for yourself, this thing is almost crystal clear. And I'm very surprised, especially for this price point, that you get performance that's this good. And even though the color is not the absolute best I've ever seen on a monitor, but it's also far from the worst. You do get 100% coverage of sRGB and between like 88 to 89% of DCI-P3 coverage, depending on the mode that you're in. I just tested a couple of the basic modes for the most part, and then obviously if you go to a more FPS tune mode or a game bias tune mode, then the color accuracies are definitely going to vary quite a bit. In terms of the actual performance and the feel of the gaming monitor, it's very snappy, very good motion clarity in terms of having a lack of trailing or any severe ghosting that would severely bother you while using this monitor, even on its fastest setting. As far as the design goes, it's a pretty basic and cheap design. It's all plastic, and the stand is a metal stand. It is fully functional as well, so height, swivel, tilt, and pivot functionality, which is very good, honestly speaking, especially for a monitor at this price. Again, 2 RGB lights up front if you want to have a little bit of accents, or you can just turn them off. Honestly, they are pretty bright, and if you are easily distracted, you probably do want to turn those off in the on-screen display. Speaking of the on-screen display, it's not that great. That's probably the worst part about this monitor, is definitely the on-screen display. It is easy to understand, but actually using the joystick on the back of the monitor, the power button is also in the middle of the joystick, so anytime that you click the joystick, it turns off the monitor. So that's kind of annoying. So I wish that they had a separate power button that was not linked to the joystick that you normally would use on any other monitor for select. It's the power button, so that's really annoying. Outside of that, as far as ports, one display port 1.4, which is definitely what you're going to want to use to be able to get that 1440p resolution and 240 hertz performance. 2 HDMI 1.4 ports, which is an interesting choice, but I guess it's there for whatever reason, and 1 HDMI 2.0 port. And lastly, you have a 3.5mm jack for your headphones if you want to plug them directly into the monitor. Again, guys, for the price of this monitor, I really don't have much of anything to complain with because the color performance is not bad. The build quality is pretty cheap, but it is a monitor, again, for $299 that has really good blur performance. And on top of that, to get a 240 hertz monitor that's also 1440p, not 1080p, at 27 inches, that's pretty important. The next closest monitor that I could find that I probably would consider or recommend, knowing that it does have strobing technology, is this BenQ EX2710Q. I haven't tried this one specifically, but I have tried other variants of these BenQ IPS monitors, and they've all performed very well. And I do have the higher end version that costs like twice as much as this one, also $50 more. And if you would rather have that noticeable 240 hertz performance over 165 hertz, quite frankly, also by having pretty decent color that will get close to the Mobius performance in terms of just enjoyableness while gaming, and also like really good black levels as well from the VA panel. If you did want to go with the BenQ for that same $50 upcharge, you will be dropping down to 1080p resolution to also get 240 hertz. And next, there is also this LG 27-inch monitor that is 1440p as well, but again, only 144 hertz for the same price. So you would be getting 100 more hertz and much faster refresh rate, probably clearer blur performance than this monitor as well, for that same price. So basically, guys, I have to give it to InnoSyn. They did a really good job on this monitor, and quite frankly, I do highly recommend that if you are on the market for a budget monitor and you're looking for purely gaming performance with some enjoyable color that you can use for both FPS games as well as story-driven games, feel free to check this one out. I will have a link in the description below. And genuinely, guys, I do think that you will be impressed. This is not, I don't even do paid reviews, to be honest. So like, don't even start with that garbage in the comments. Check it out for yourself if you're interested. It's on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description below. But thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.